Hi, my name is Will Caldwell. I'm the CEO at Dizzle, and I'm sitting down with real estate coach Brian Icenhower out of Kansas City. And we're here today to tell you more about how to build referral networks to generate more business. And I'm going to introduce Brian Icenhower. He's here and have him tell you a little bit about himself. Brian.
Hi, Will. Yeah, I'm a real estate trainer and coach. I also run a, large real estate company in the Kansas City area as well. I've been in real estate for about 25 years now, and really focus the majority of my time on helping agents learn different ways to grow their business, enhance their careers, and try to succeed in the real estate industry.
Awesome. Well, I want to sit down with Brian and ask him a couple questions that I've drafted up, and get down to the nitty gritty on how to get out there and build your business referral network. To start generating you some more leads. And to get started, I'm going to ask. We'll start here with Brian. So one of the questions I have for you. So for agents just starting out, what tips do you have for them to get out there and build their initial business networks?
Well, I mean, I think the key, Will, is with any real estate agent, one of the most important things to do is cultivate a group of people you know, and that's probably not news to a lot of people, although very few people do it. The key to success in real estate, sustained success over a long course of time, is to develop a very independent business where you're not dependent on any single source. You'll see a lot of agents get into the industry and become dependent on asset management accounts during the downturn when they're selling foreclosures, or dependent on relocation, or dependent on even their broker to give them business, or be dependent on other agents to feed them leads or businesses. You see new agents getting stuck on floor time forever. And to have a truly independent business, you need to build your own client database. And that's, you won't see many top producing agents that sustain any longevity in real estate getting into dependent situations for too long. They learn they need to build their own business. And the ones that don't kick themselves for staying in the business 5, 10, 20 years without ever establishing a core group of individuals that they can stay in contact with and refer business to back and forth. And those individuals can actually be divvied up in a lot of different people. Most people will call it your COI, your center of influence. So those are people you know, people you've met. Could be friends, could be family, could be acquaintances, and people that know who you are, basically. That's the high threshold of criteria that it takes to get in that group, is people that have met and they'll recognize your name. And you grow that and cultivate it, and you systematically feed it, so you purposely try to grow that over time. And then you also systematically stay in contact with them. And one of the things I think we're going to talk about today is how we do that with different business relationships, how one of those databases, if not a core part of your database, should be business relationships, owners of other businesses, whether it's their own or they're in sales, where you can actually help them and they can help you on a regular basis. And it's very important to do that systematically, not just whimsically.
Awesome. So just to, going back to Dizzle, so a starting point for, some of our listeners with Dizzle apps, it would be smart to start putting those people that you trust getting out in the app and letting them know you're promoting their business as well initially.
Absolutely. I mean, you need to grow your vendor list in your Dizzle app. It's a beautiful tool, and not only should you make sure to give the vendors out through your app to your clients, friends, everyone you know, you need to systematically and purposely grow the vendor list in your Dizzle app. I mean, set a goal for yourself. I'm going to add 5 new vendors to that vendor list every single week. You do that for 52 weeks over the course of the year, you're going to have, I don't even know the math, you probably have to do that one. 5 times 52 is a big number. You're going to have a few hundred, I'm totally guessing on that number, new vendors out there working for you, trying to give you business. And then you're going to have the same number of vendors to provide to your potential clients, friends, family members, a higher level of customer service by giving them trusted professionals that you have relationships with to service all their home and personal needs.
That's awesome. So it's important that you start with a goal. Going on to our next question is, you know, reaching out to new service providers is a great way to build referral networks. And I think what I saw on your site is that, using property previews to allow, vendors that you might want to build a relationship with to showcase their work can you explain how agents can go about doing that?
Sure. One of the things we teach is different ways to generate business, and property previews are a great way. It's almost like an enhanced, systemized form of door knocking, actually, where you're out previewing property that's actively for sale, whether it's your listing or someone in your office's listing, or even someone in your associations of realtors listings. All the realtors combined are trying to get these homes sold. That's why the whole nature of co-oping and putting things in the MLS. So a lot of agents, they've been doing this for 30, 40 years. It's actually not a new technique. My dad first brought it up to me, and he'd been selling real estate for 50 years. And he would actually recommend knocking doors, 3 to 5 doors to the left of the house, 3 to 5 doors to the right of the house, 5 doors across the street. And as you're doing that, you're simply saying, "Hi, I'm Brian Icenhower. I'm with Dizzle Real Estate, and we're doing everything we can to try to get your neighbor's home sold over there." And we often find the purchaser of a home is a friend, family member, acquaintance of somebody that already lives in the immediate area. So we're in our efforts to try to get that home sold. I got to ask you, do you know anybody that's looking to move into your neighborhood right now? You're going to often give them materials. You're going to provide them with your pre-listing presentation as well too. If you do happen to bump into anybody, I'd love for you to refer them to me. We'd love to get that house sold. If you know anybody's looking to sell their house, we also need more inventory as well. You're going to give them something. If you give them something, make sure you have your vendor list in there. That's very important to do. You can even point it out to them, explain it to them. Here's our preferred list of vendors that you can use. It's a very useful, it's something of value that you can give to everyone you know, whether it's in your COI or people you come in contact with, or even other vendors. If you're out there pushing the product, they're going to want to give you business in return, this being your vendors. So it's a very important part of it as well.
And awesome. And everyone has a smartphone now, so there's no excuses not for anyone not to be able to have
You
this.
don't even really need to have paper. You meet them, they've got a phone, just send it to them really quick. Now you've got their cell phone number as well too. It's a really important thing to do. I mean, anytime you're at an open house and clients come in, you can send them just quickly to obtain their contact information. They don't need to necessarily sign a guest list anymore. You can just send them your Dizzle app and give them something of value on the way out the door. And now you've got their cell phone number is later on to follow up and get any feedback about the house, possibly even get business for them.
Awesome. Well, what are so with these, growing this business network and growing the database in your Dizzle app, what are some ways that you can, keep these people accountable?
Well, I'll tell you, the best thing that I do is I get, when I teach people to cultivate that database, and Dizzle makes it extremely easy and keeps it very organized, which is what I like about it. In using the app, you're going to have to make contact with people first. So one of the first things you want to do is make sure you proactively try to fill out your entire Dizzle vendor list. So to do that, you're going to need to purposely contact people you don't know. Let's say I need a wills and trust attorney, or I need a probate attorney, or I need a family law divorce attorney. Those are 3 types of attorneys, and I want to have one of each of those, because every one of those is going to tell you and tell their clients when they need to sell property. And it's often very nice for them to also have a real estate agent they can refer you to. Same with accountants. Heck, even gardeners and landscapers, plumbers, they're doing work on houses. They know when homes are getting ready to sell, and then they can actually refer you. And they'll want to do that if you regularly refer them business, because they kind of owe you one. That's how you create that little peer pressure-oriented referral network. They hustle to get you business, you hustle to get them. Whoever gets the most gives the most back. So you want to actually establish those. You may not know all those people. In order to do it, you need to actually purposely contact people, and it could be an attorney, let's say a family law attorney you don't even know, but if you don't have one you should recommend, you need to. I mean, you need to be that personal Angie's list for every one of your clients. They look to you. We're a realtor. We're in the center of the referral network. One of the things we do is connect them with the people they need to buy and sell homes, and oftentimes these people are associated with it. So you want to contact a family law attorney, even if you don't know one. Find someone that does and likes one. Call them, reach out. Hi, this is Brian Icenhower with Dizzle Real Estate, and I'm trying to actually create a professional referral network so that I am able to refer trusted professionals to my clients. and I've heard good things about you, and I was wondering if you would be interested in taking on new clients. That's a very warm call that comes from contribution. You're not asking them for anything. You're actually offering to funnel them business.
Yeah.
Just like if a mortgage broker were to come to you, Will, and you were a realtor, and that mortgage broker says, hey, Will, I actually am calling to see if I could actually refer you listings in the future. Would that be of any interest to you?
Yeah, no one's going to turn that down.
No, and I'll say, hey, and if I were to refer a listing to you, would you consider trying me out and referring some of your clients that are looking to get mortgage loans back to me in return?
Awesome.
That answer can always be sure. We'll give you a whirl. And if so long as everybody does a decent job with what they do, it's a very lucrative symbiotic relationship between the two, or both benefit. You're not calling, you're not shaking anyone down. You're literally just coming from contribution on the call. You do that purposefully every day. Reach out to different vendors in different industries. You should have hundreds of them. Everything from a landscaper to daycare to pet sitters, just about everything. They look to the realtor when they move to a new community or a new area, a new neighborhood. They're going to need new people. You need to provide that to them. Vendors will be very interested in being included on the list that you provide to everybody. So be very systematic. Try to contact 5 or 10 new vendors a day to keep growing that database, then staying in contact with them.
Awesome. What are, specifically, what are the types of vendors that, from your experience, that you have seen other agents receive the most referrals from?
Well, the first and foremost is going to be attorneys. Like I said, they often tell people when they need to sell real estate. You will see accountants refer a lot. Mortgage lenders is huge. I know everybody gets tied to their one mortgage lender, and that's the only one they can trust. They don't want to that's crazy. There are more out there. Try to get 2, 3, or 4 and reward the one that does a good job and refers you the most business. Your title officers, title and escrow, should refer you a lot of business as well too, because they're closely related. Home warranty, people like that are affiliates directly in the industry that we often run away from because they're always trying to sell us something. Don't ever do that. Give them the opportunity. Say, I tell you what, if you get in a situation where you refer me someone, I'll give you a try back.
Yeah, I guess
you don't say no to anybody.
I guess what the Dizzle app allows you to do is, we hear a lot that mortgage brokers and realtors talk about referring business, but really never actually do. A way to keep that mortgage broker accountable would be to say, hey, if this isn't going to work out, if you keep talking the talk, I'm going to take you off my app. No mortgage broker wants to be deleted from the app, and this is another way that the mortgage broker can stay on top of your guy.
Absolutely. You can stay you can even call them every now and then. You haven't gotten something. Hey, this is Brian Icenhower. I'm trying to update my customer list. Why is this not working? How am I failing you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What can I do to help you generate some business so we can get into this relationship together? And here's the other thing you can do, Will. You can just get 4 or 5 mortgage brokers. Everybody has the same chance that way. You hedge your bet. So just because you fill out your entire vendor list that you want doesn't mean you shouldn't double up. Get 2, 3, 4 from the same industry. If you get 6 electricians, the one that starts sending you business the first is the one you feed back, and then you can thin them out later. Everybody's going to promise the world, but are they really going to do it?
Yeah, and so with everyone, with your Dizzle app, if you have that top mortgage broker or top electrician, if you let us know, we'll be able to sort them so they're always at the top. And you can sell that, you can, as a way to, motivate that vendor is be like, hey, you're going to be at the top of the category no matter what. And we all know how important it is to be at the top of the search results.
Absolutely.
Going forward, I think we touched briefly, and it's really important that referral networks are two-way streets. And what are some ways that agents can, make sure that they're referring enough business to their vendors to keep everyone happy? And, I think that shows a lot on the agent's part, reaching out and keeping business going.
I'll be honest with you. Sometimes you're worried you're not going to have enough business to refer. I've never, ever seen an agent have that problem. I've been doing this for years. The minute you get business for somebody, I'm telling you, you're going to want to get it back to them, especially if you're in a big office or you know other agents. They'll start asking for an electrician. Anybody got an electrician? You can just push somebody else to them and just say, hey, John, I just sent another agent. I just referred his client to you as well, too. You should be getting a call from him. Actually, here's that agent's number. Give them a call directly. So it's very easy to filter other agents or filter other people that way. So I've never seen someone get a significant amount of business from a vendor. that you could not actually, you just get this natural instinct and compelled. You want to make money, so you start sending anything you can that direction. It's never really a problem. The problem is usually the other way. And that's when you really want to give them a call, and that's just let them know, hey man, I want to keep giving you business, but I got a family to feed and I got a life here. Any chance you can get something my way? Any way I can help you do that? You know, what else can I do? Because I want to keep sending it your way, man.
So Brian, on your site, you have a lot of great scripts for agents to use to kind of reach out to their network. And, can you tell us a little bit more about why your scripts are really great to get started with and how they're tried and true from your experience?
Yeah, a lot of agents have used them with success, and that's one way. I think the difference in my scripts, they tend to come from contribution. I think a lot of people really they really shy away from the use of scripts, and I think that's unfortunate. I think that they just get a negative connotation, like if you're using a real estate script, you're somehow manipulating someone to do something they don't want. And if that's how you feel when you're using a script, don't use that script anymore. That's not what a script should do. Whether you know it or not, all real estate agents use scripts. Whether you develop them yourself over time or whether you take them from somebody else to eliminate all the trial and error makes no real difference. You find out what works, you repeat it, you use it over and over again. You see, agents that have never used somebody else's script, that have been practicing real estate for 10 years, they go into a listing presentation and they're on autopilot. They're using the same thing over and over. It's pretty unconscious at that point. So you're using your own script at that point. All that using somebody else's script does is possibly increase your conversion ratio because that script is probably more tested than yours is if you just developed it naturally. And it helps you get to that unconscious state without all the trial and error and mistakes and errors that come along the way. Every one of my scripts tends to always try to help who I'm talking to. So I believe in lead generating in a way that always comes from contribution, where I'm trying to help. In this case, I'm calling vendors, trying to help them. Then I'm calling my clients, trying to help them. And like a follow-up call, 30 or 60 days after every closing. You should always call after every closing, 30, 60, 90 days, maybe 120 days. Hey, this is Brian Icenhower with Dizzle Real Estate, and I'm just calling as a customer follow-up call. We actually closed on your house about 30 days ago, and I just want you to know on the Brian Icenhower Real Estate team, our customer service doesn't stop at closing. We want to stay with you. We want to be able to help you with any of your home ownership needs. How's the house going right now? They're either going to tell you that there's something's broken and they need to get something fixed, or they're planning on doing some improvements. And you really want to stay in that area, and that's your opportunity to come from contribution. That's when you send them the Dizzle app. You send them a link to it. You say, hey, I want you to look at this at my company as your own personal Angie's List here, okay? I can save you a lot of time, heartache, and money if you just use our trusted professionals without having to go through all the headache of experiencing bad contractors and vendors working in and around on your home and your personal life. So if you ever need a reference of somebody, just reach out to us and we'll get that to you right away. I'm sending you my app right now. So that way you're able to just kind of check for yourself if you ever don't have someone to use, and keep following up with them like that, 30, 60, 90, and I would even tell them too, and if you ever bump into anybody that wants a similar level of customer service, we want to work with more clients like you too. So we'd love it if you referred our services to somebody else looking to buy their home in the near future. That sound all right?
Awesome.
Right. So you just keep call them back in 60, 90 days. You're now showing customer service so far and beyond that any real estate agent ever does. You're just following up and always trying to offer them help. Hey, you're going to make any improvements? Great. What are you going to do? Oh, you're going to put a new fence in the backyard. That's great. Hey, do you need somebody for that? I could send you a couple of people, speed you on your way. Or if you check your Dizzle app, they're in there right now. So now you're just completely showing customer service every single time, making contact, staying first of mind. They're more likely to refer you business that way.
Awesome. And so Brian, you mentioned last time that to me that you told your wife to download the Dizzle app and call a handyman. Can you describe her experience using the app?
Yeah, we actually moved to Kansas City about a year and a half ago, and her family's from here, so we relocated from California, so we don't really know a whole lot of people, and we just bought a house, so we don't, we actually need our own personals and Angie's List. So I got the Dizzle app, and I loaded it up with a lot of the vendors that our agents use in the office. And I just, my wife kept saying, "Hey, ask your agents," because she didn't know who to use, and I certainly don't. But realtors tend to know, and it's kind of a pain because everybody wants you to use their vendor. So I just loaded the whole thing up and sent it to her. And next thing you know, everything's being done in our house. She just keeps calling people on the list. It's pretty awesome. So I just took the middleman out of it. So,
Awesome. Yeah,
so
I think at Dizzle, we're trying to build, position the agent as someone who's a knowledgeable local expert. We believe that's the way real estate's going, and I think that's the way it should be. As an agent, you're a real estate professional, so you're a trusted expert. You're not just someone, coordinating the transaction. You encompass everything. Like you said, you're the connector for the neighborhood. Um,
yeah.
and that's what
And
we're.
if you do that, I'm telling you, that's why real estate scripts can be good. If you're out there always trying to help people and be of service to others by coming from contribution in your message, and then you align that message with your ability to get more business and get other people behind that message, I'm telling you, it is a win-win in business that you'll have no problem doing systematically, regularly, continuously, because everybody's working for the same goal. And you're not calling people up, shaking them down, just asking for stuff. It doesn't sound that way. It sounds like you're helping people respect it. You will grow a very sustainable, long producing business that way, and you can do it very, very quickly. And it all just depends on how quickly you fill up your Dizzle app, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah, I know. At Dizzle, we run the analysis, and what we see is, like you said, agents that have a longer list are often the top. They are the top producers in any given market. So it's a direct correlation between how long your list is and how successful you will be, and how successful you really are.
I
So
think that concept has been true since the outset of the industry. The agent that knew the most people and referred the most people to the most other people was that social hub of the industry, of the entire society. Now people just get very systematic and purposeful with it to quickly get there. You don't have to stay in the same area for 3 decades and know everybody and then have everybody refer you. You can quickly get there with apps like Dizzle.
awesome. Well, I think that's it. That's all my questions. Brian, if you want to add anything, tell them about where they can find more information about you and your website. And you can always find us at dizzle.com or will@dizzle.com. So, Brian?
Yeah, if you want to go on, I've got a couple websites, but I think for one that talks a little bit more about real estate productivity, go to the realestatetrainer.com. On there, you're going to find endless business generation methods, lots of different ways to grow, cultivate your client database. You'll find a lot on how real estate teams work and are structured. You'll find quite a few training videos on there and a lot of real estate scripts as well, a lot of online strategies to grow your business like Dizzle as well. So feel free. It's a free site. You can just get on there and play. I use it for coaching and training for the most part. I just keep it open and public so everybody can check it out. So have fun.
Awesome. Well, thanks everyone for joining us. We'll be sending out an email with some scripts that you can implement right away. And the more contact information to Brian and myself.